You are not immune. You have been manipulated today, and you will be manipulated tomorrow. Not by a cult in a compound in the woods. Not by people in robes chanting at midnight. But by the apps on your phone, the brands you follow, the groups you belong to, the content you consume. The psychology that makes people join cults is the same psychology that makes you buy products you do not need, stay in jobs you hate, vote against your own interests, and defend ideas you have never actually examined. This is not about them, the people in cults. This is about you, and the invisible forces shaping every decision you make. Welcome to Mystery Mind. Tonight we are going inside the psychology of control, not to judge the people who fall for it, not to mock them or feel superior, but to understand why you would fall for it too. Because cult psychology is not about weakness. It is not about low intelligence or broken families or mental illness. It is about being human. Your brain is wired for connection, for meaning, for belonging, for certainty in an uncertain world. And there are systems designed to exploit those needs. Some are obvious, some are everywhere. And by the end of this video, you will see them in your social media feeds, in your workplace, in your political affiliations, in your own mind. This is the psychology of cults, and it is already inside you. Let us start with the most dangerous myth about cults. The idea that only broken people join them. Only the lonely. Only the desperate. Only the stupid. This is a lie we tell ourselves so we can feel safe. So we can look at cult members and think, that would never be me. I am too smart, too grounded, too skeptical. But the research shows something different, something uncomfortable. The people most susceptible to cult recruitment are not the weak. They are the idealistic, the intelligent, the educated, the people searching for purpose in a world that feels increasingly meaningless. Studies of former cult members show higher than average intelligence, higher than average education, and a common thread of wanting to make a difference, of wanting to find truth, of wanting to belong to something that matters. Cults do not target the broken. They target the hungry, the ones hungry for meaning, for community, for a cause bigger than themselves, for answers to questions that mainstream society ignores. And that describes most of us. We live in a world of unprecedented connection and unprecedented isolation. We have hundreds of friends online and no one to call at 3 in the morning. We have access to all human knowledge and no framework to make sense of it. We have infinite choices and no guidance on which to take. Into this void step the cults, and the brands, and the movements, and the algorithms, all offering the same thing: purpose, belonging, certainty, and they deliver, at least at first. The process starts with love bombing. This is the first tool in the cult playbook, and it is the same tool used by every brand building a following, every influencer growing an audience, every company onboarding new employees, every dating app keeping you swiping. Love bombing is overwhelming someone with attention, with validation, with a sense of being special. You are not like the others. You are chosen. You are seen. You are understood. In a world where most people feel invisible, this feeling is addictive. And it is not an accident. It is calculated. It is engineered. The cult gives you a family overnight. The brand gives you a community. The app gives you notifications that make you feel wanted. The influencer responds to your comment, and suddenly you matter. And once you feel that belonging, once you taste that validation, you will do almost anything to keep it. Your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical released by drugs, by gambling, by falling in love. And just like those experiences, the high fades. So you chase it. You post more. You engage more. You buy more. You commit more. And the cycle begins. The second tool is us versus them. Cults create a clear line between the enlightened and the ignorant, the saved and the damned, the awake and the asleep, the insiders and the outsiders. This binary thinking is powerful because it simplifies a complex world. You are either with us or against us. You either see the truth or you are blind. You are either good or evil. There is no middle ground, no nuance, no complexity, just the chosen and the fallen. This same psychology drives political polarization, sports rivalries, brand loyalty, tribal warfare. The human brain craves certainty, and us versus them gives it. It tells you who to trust, who to fear, who to hate, who to dismiss. And most importantly, it tells you that questioning the group is betrayal. Doubt becomes disloyalty. Critical thinking becomes enemy action. Curiosity becomes weakness, and the walls close in. The group becomes your entire world, and the outside becomes dangerous, full of lies, full of threats, full of people who want to deceive you. Anyone who questions the group is instantly suspect, instantly other, instantly gone. The third tool is intermittent reinforcement. This is the most insidious because it works on a neurological level. It bypasses your conscious mind and goes straight to your brain's reward system. Intermittent reinforcement means rewards are unpredictable. Sometimes you get validation. Sometimes you get silence. Sometimes you get praise. Sometimes you get punishment. Sometimes the algorithm shows your post to thousands. Sometimes to no one. Sometimes your boss praises you. Sometimes they ignore you. Sometimes your partner is loving. Sometimes they are cold. This unpredictability creates obsession. It is the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. That makes slot machines the most profitable game in any casino. That makes social media endless scrolling. That makes toxic relationships impossible to leave. Your brain never knows when the next reward is coming, so it keeps seeking, keeps checking, keeps hoping, keeps scrolling. The notification might be important. The email might be good news. The post might go viral. The cult leader might give you attention today. Your brain cannot stop, because hope is the most powerful drug, and uncertainty is the perfect delivery system. The fourth tool is escalating commitment. No cult starts with the extreme beliefs. They start with something reasonable, something good, something you already believe, a desire to help people, a search for truth, a community of like-minded friends, a mission to improve the world. Then the demands slowly increase. The beliefs slowly shift. The isolation slowly builds. The investment slowly grows. By the time you realize how far you have gone, you have already invested too much to leave. Your identity is wrapped up in the group. Your friends are all inside. Your family is outside. Your money is committed. Your time is spent. Your reputation is tied to the cause. Leaving means losing everything. So you double down. You defend the group harder. You recruit others to validate your choice. You convince yourself that the sacrifices are worth it, that the doubts are just tests, that the critics just do not understand. This is why people in cults do not just stay. They actively recruit. They need others to join to prove they were right, to justify their investment, to share the burden. And the cycle continues. Now here is where it gets uncomfortable. These four tools are not just used by cults. They are used by every system that wants your loyalty, your time, your money, your mind, your vote, your attention. Social media platforms use love bombing through likes and follows. They use us versus them through algorithmic bubbles that show you only what you agree with. They use intermittent reinforcement through unpredictable viral hits. And they use escalating commitment through years of your data, your photos, your connections, making leaving feel impossible. The platform becomes your identity, your community, your archive of memories. And the thought of deleting it feels like dying. Multi-level marketing companies use the same playbook. They call it network marketing, direct sales, entrepreneurship, but it is cult psychology with a product attached. They promise community. They promise financial freedom. They promise purpose. They promise you can be your own boss. And they deliver a system where your worth is measured by how many people you recruit, where doubt is negativity, where questions are excuses, where leaving is failure, where the only way to succeed is to believe harder and recruit more, and where the real product is not the supplements or the makeup. The real product is the dream, the hope, the possibility, and you are both the customer and the salesperson. Even mainstream companies use these tools. The onboarding process that makes you feel special and chosen. The company culture that becomes your identity. The perks that keep you dependent. The slow erosion of boundaries between work and life. The subtle message that leaving means giving up on your dreams. That success requires sacrifice. That loyalty is valued over everything. That work is family. This is not a conspiracy. It is just psychology, applied deliberately, and it works. Political movements use these tools. The rallies that feel like church. The leaders who promise to solve everything. The enemies who are always plotting. The urgency that demands immediate action. The dismissal of critics as traitors. The belief that the ends justify the means. That the cause is too important for doubt. That questioning is helping the enemy. That the only way to save the country is to follow without question. Even fitness communities use these tools. The before and after photos that promise transformation. The coaches who become gurus. The supplements that become essential. The lifestyle that becomes identity. the community that becomes family, the doubt that becomes weakness, the rest day that becomes failure, the body that becomes never good enough, the pursuit of health that becomes an eating disorder, all wrapped in the language of empowerment. So how do you protect yourself? How do you engage with groups and communities and movements without losing yourself? First, recognize that the desire to belong is not a weakness. It is human. It is ancient. It is how we survived. But be suspicious of any group that offers instant family, instant meaning, instant answers. Real community takes time to build. Real meaning takes work to find. Real answers are complicated. Anyone promising all three immediately is selling something. Second, watch for the us versus them narrative. Any group that defines itself by who it excludes is building walls, not bridges. Any ideology that cannot tolerate questions is hiding something. Any community that demands you cut off family and friends is isolating you for control. Healthy groups can handle disagreement, can tolerate doubt, can engage with the outside world without fear. Third, notice intermittent reinforcement in your life. What are you checking compulsively? What are you hoping for that keeps you hooked? What notifications do you fear missing? What validation are you chasing? The first step to breaking the cycle is seeing it. Noticing when your brain is being hijacked. Pausing before you scroll, before you post, before you buy, before you commit. Fourth, track your escalating commitments. What have you invested in that you now feel trapped by? What would you lose if you walked away? And is that loss worth more than your autonomy? More than your critical thinking? More than your ability to question? The sunk cost fallacy keeps people in bad relationships, bad jobs, bad investments, and bad ideologies. The money is gone. The time is spent. The only question is what you do now. The goal is not to avoid all groups. It is not to be a hermit, to trust no one, to believe in nothing. It is to choose them consciously, to belong without surrendering your critical thinking, to commit without losing your ability to leave, to believe without closing your mind, to be part of something without letting it become everything. This is the balance, and it is hard, because the forces against it are strong. They are engineered by some of the smartest people in the world. Psychologists, data scientists, marketers, engineers, all working to keep you engaged, to keep you loyal, to keep you consuming, to keep you committed. But awareness is the first defense. And now you are aware. Here is what you need to remember. First, cult psychology targets the idealistic and searching, not the weak. Second, the tools are love bombing, us versus them, intermittent reinforcement, and escalating commitment. Third, these tools are used everywhere, not just in cults. In your apps, in your workplace, in your politics, in your shopping. The question is not whether you are being influenced. You are, every day, by forces designed specifically to influence you. The question is whether you see it, whether you recognize the patterns, whether you can step back and choose. And now you can. Now you do. The next move is yours. If this made you think about your own life, hit like and tell me in the comments where you see these patterns. Your social media, your job, your relationships, your shopping habits. And if you want to understand more of the invisible forces shaping your mind, subscribe and hit the bell. Because next time, we're going to the techniques used to make you buy things you do not need, vote for people who do not serve you, and believe things that are not true. The truth is out there, but someone has to dig for it.